Welcome to NEXTGames Sortie series. Now Sortie is a brand new event that was finally released today that will allow us to finally upgrade our Empyrean armor. Now I'll be doing an entire series on this event, similar to my other series covering Odyssey and other endgame content, and it all starts with this video. Now the event itself released just a few hours ago, and there's very little information out there in regards to what to expect. So in this first run of mine, I just wanted to get the feel for the maps and how things worked. Now I'll be releasing videos fairly frequently of my daily runs over these next few weeks until proper pathing and strategies have been fleshed out. Now sadly, today's run only lasted 30 minutes and led to me dying to an NM, but I still have lots of information to share on what I learned in those 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and delve into it. Now to start with, you will need to go to Lifalia to get the short cutscene with Ruspix, which will tell you some basic information about the event and grant you the key item of Shiny Razkanarian Plate. We can now enter Sortie. To do so, we need to head to Khmer Drifts, Bivak number 4, where you will find the entrance to Sortie. Now from what I can gather, you can enter Sortie 20 hours after the last time of your entry, so this is going to end up being a daily event for many if they have time in their day for a 1-hour daily event. Note that entry time also needs to be taken into consideration in regards to the total time this event's going to take you, especially until people are burnt out on this event, and this is of course going to be more worse on more populated servers. Just to give you an example, this morning I waited over 30 minutes for it to allow me to enter Sortie after I put myself in line. And this is on a fairly low population server. So again, make sure you factor this in when it comes to your total time that you're going to need for this event. Now once you do get to enter, you will want to summon any trust needed to make yourself a full party of 6 and head down the path that lies before you. Now there is a lot of room on these maps, and in speaking with others who have entered it, it looks like the map is the same each time, so that's good. Now the first thing you will notice when you get to the bottom of that ramp is that there is a diaphanous device that is right in front of you. Now clicking on it at this time does nothing, but it appears that these will allow you to warp around the map as you progress further, as I used one later on to get to my NM. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the first map up and label where I found specific things as we go through them. Now you will notice there's a lot of dead ends on this map that I'm showing you right now. I found that if you go to many of these dead ends, what you're going to find is a locked gate D that when you click on it doesn't actually do anything. Now it's presumed that you need a D key to get through one of these gates. Now I'm going to now show you all of the locations on the map that I found these D gates. So since the middle area only leads to D gates, I chose to go south next and kill AQX mobs. Now you'll want to note that both the map and wide scan work very effectively here, so make sure you use them to your benefit. Now the only place that a map isn't shown is on the NM maps when you get to them. Now the trash mods themselves are very easy to take out, and the leeches and AQX mobs that I found were level 118 to 122 and took great damage from both skill chains and magic burst, so I strongly recommend that you work those into your strategy if possible. Now I killed all of the AQX mobs in that southern area, of which there were a total of 11 of them. As I killed those 11, I had 2 separate chests drop, a blue chest that contained 100 Gallum free, and a brown chest which contained also 100 Gallum free and a Rakaznar Shard A, which ended up being the key I needed to proceed. I also wanted to point out that the trash mobs seem to give 12,000 limit points, 70 to 80 exemplar points, and 33 Gallum free for each kill. Now let's discuss my first error on this run. What I did is I went north, and instead of killing the rest of the AQX mobs, I looked around for a minute, found the other D gate, and then found the A door and went right through it. Please note that doing this seems to have made it so that the Leech NM just beyond that A gate will not spawn. You need to kill all of the mobs on map 1, I believe, in order for this Leech NM to spawn. Others are reporting that this Leech drops a red chest that gives you a Rakaznar Sapphire, which is an item needed to upgrade the MP armor. Now, the reports state the NM wasn't more challenging than the trash mobs around them, so it should be doable for all soloers to take this NM on. Now I intend on doing this in my run tomorrow, so look for an updated video after that run. Note that once you click on the A gate when in possession of the A shard key item, it's going to immediately open, and a chest that grants the A key and 100 Gallum free will spawn. Now here we are on map number 2. Now the big part in this map has both a lower and an upper section. To get to the lower section, make sure you take the right path when you enter this map, and to get to the upper section, make sure you take the left part when you enter this map. Now in the large room, there are many leeches in both the upper and lower sections that can be killed, and further A gates are up and to the east. But I was adventuring around, so I ended up heading to the upper left-hand corner to see what was there, and I encountered a diaphanous gadget A. When I clicked on it, it asked if I wanted to be teleport, and I accepted. Now on the map it brought me to, there was no map at all, signaling that this was an NM map, and sure enough, right past the gate was a Rancibus type NM. Now hindsight, I should have stuck with my initial gut impression and turned right around and took that gadget right back to where I came from, but instead, I buffed up and headed in. So you're seeing the fight in its entirety right here. Now I initially wanted to pull the boss back, so that if I did die, I could end up getting up. But as you can see, he just spammed AoE moves from the second he aggroed, and after waiting several seconds, I feared a wipe was going to occur without any curing going on, so I had to run up to him and engage. Now after I engaged, I really wish I would have stuck with trying to pull him to the side, as dying this location was as dangerous as I expected it to be, and after I tried to get back up, he of course immediately aggroed and took me out with a single move. So while we take this NM on, let's go ahead and note a few of the things going on here. First, he did not aggro until a distance of 20 feet. In fact, I want to point out that all I needed was sneak to get past all of the AQX mobs and leeches, so invisible is not needed on maps 1 and 2 if you want to sneak past the mobs. Now as soon as I engage the NM, the door closed behind us, so it looks like you're going to be trapped in this room until you beat him once you engage him, so keep that in mind. Now ArcEV was no match for him, and was in real trouble of dying right from the get-go, as I was for that matter. Now my damage appeared to be decent, with my weapon skills hitting for about 10,000 damage, skill chains hitting for 15,000, and magic burst hitting for over 20,000 damage. So it definitely looks like, once again, magic burst damage is how you're going to want to get past at least this NM. Now one nasty move that the NM used was Cesspool that hit ArcEV for 2,200 damage on multiple occasions. The worst move though was Noyade, which hit ArcEV for 24,000 damage and myself for 15 to 33,000 damage, which of course ended my run very quickly. Now next time, I'm going to need to go in with much more healing, and use trusts that do not stay near the boss, because Sylvie was in real danger of this one because she was. I also need to try and use Megawari and ride it through the entire fight so that I can get through those nasty abilities that he uses. I'll make further attempts on this in the coming days. Now sadly, this is where my run ended today, and I'll be sure to post an example of the Leech NM and clearing the rest of Map 2 tomorrow. I hope you found this first day informative. If this is your first visit to my channel and you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Enjoy the new content. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.